Once upon a time, in the quiet little town of Brockton, Massachusetts, there lived a man named Keith Gill. Keith was your everyday middle-class guy, working as a financial analyst by day. But by night, he became someone entirely different. He transformed into Roaring Kitty, a YouTube streamer with a big heart and an even bigger dream. Keith loved talking about the stock market, sharing his ideas and strategies with anyone who cared to listen. Now, Keith's brother Kevin didn't think much of this. He teased Keith endlessly, calling his YouTube streams nerdy garbage. "Look at you," Kevin would say, rolling his eyes. "Playing stock market superhero. When are you going to stop wasting time?" But Keith didn't let it bother him. Deep down, he knew he was onto something. And it all started during the strangest time the world had ever seen, the COVID-19 pandemic. One day, while scrolling through his favorite subreddit, r/Wall Street Bets, Keith noticed something interesting. GameStop, the video game store everyone used to love, was in trouble. Its stock was falling fast, and most people thought the company was doomed. But Keith saw something others didn't, a spark of hope. He spent hours researching, analyzing charts, and connecting dots. And then, with a boldness even he didn't know he had, Keith made a life-changing decision. He took every penny of his life savings and invested it in GameStop stock. Kevin thought he had lost his mind. "You put all your money into that? A video game store? What's next, Keith? Betting on Blockbuster?" Keith just smiled and shook his head. He believed in his decision. Night after night, he went live on YouTube, sharing his journey and explaining why he thought GameStop could make a comeback. Slowly but surely, people began to listen. By January 2021, Keith wasn't alone anymore. On r/Wall Street Bets, thousands of people had taken notice. They realized that big hedge funds like Melvin Capital were betting against GameStop, hoping it would fail. This made Keith and others furious. Why should billionaires profit from the failure of a company while ordinary people struggled to get by? Something incredible happened next. People from all walks of life started buying GameStop stock, pushing the price higher and higher. There was Jennifer, a nurse working double shifts to pay her bills, Marcos, a GameStop employee dreaming of a better future, and Riri and Harmony, a couple at the University of Texas who just wanted to pay off their student loans. It was no longer just about making money. It was about standing up to the powerful, proving that regular folks could make a difference. Keith became a hero, a symbol of hope. People called him a financial genius, a modern-day Robin Hood. But not everyone was happy. The hedge funds were losing billions of dollars, and they weren't going down without a fight. Gabe Plotkin, the head of Melvin Capital, was desperate. Meanwhile, the trading app Robinhood, which many people used to buy GameStop stock, was in trouble too. The sheer volume of trades was overwhelming them, and they didn't have enough cash to keep up. In a shocking move, Robinhood's co-chairman, Vlad Tenov, made a controversial decision. Under pressure from powerful figures like Ken Griffin of Citadel, they stopped people from buying more GameStop stock. The internet exploded with outrage. People accused them of cheating, of protecting the billionaires at the expense of everyone else. As panic spread, many people started selling their stocks, afraid the price would crash. But Keith remained calm. On his live stream, he encouraged everyone to think carefully and not give in to fear. This wasn't just about making money anymore, it was about justice. The chaos caught the attention of Congress. Keith, along with Vlad, Ken, and Gabe, was summoned to testify. While the powerful men squirmed under the spotlight, Keith stood tall. "I didn't trick anyone," he said. "I just shared what I believed in. Isn't that what investing is supposed to be about?" In the end, the truth came out. Keith hadn't done anything wrong, but the whole fiasco left a lasting mark on everyone involved. Gabe Plotkin had to shut down Melvin Capital after losing too much money. Robinhood faced lawsuits and lost the trust of its users. For the ordinary people, though, there was a silver lining. Harmony used her earnings to pay off her family's debt. Marco sold half his stock and quit his job at GameStop to start his own business. Jennifer held onto her shares, hopeful for a brighter future. As for Keith, he decided it was time to step out of the spotlight. He retired from YouTube, sold part of his stocks, and even bought Kevin a fancy car to quiet his teasing. "All right," Kevin said with a grin. "Maybe you're not such a nerd after all." Keith just smiled, knowing he had done something extraordinary. And while his story seemed to end there, it was really just the beginning of a new chapter for him, for the people who followed him, and for everyone who dared to believe in something bigger than themselves.